Radio, pray for peace.
Support for this show, Politics Done Right, comes from politicsdoneright.com, publishers of How to Make America Utopia, Take Away the Economy from Those Who Rigged It, As I See It, Class Warfare, The Only Resort to Right-Wing Doom, It's Worth It, How to Talk to Your Right-Wing Relatives, Friends, and Neighbors, and other books written by Egberto Willis. Welcome to Politics Done Right. My name is Egberto Willis, your host. Good morning, Houston. Good morning, Harris County. Good morning to the great state of Texas. Good morning to Northeast Texas, Southeast Texas, Northeast, Northwest Louisiana, Southwest Louisiana, to every nick and cranny receiving that signal from our 100,000 watt transmitter, entering into those magical boxes known as radios, aka the Howard Reynolds machines. Anyway, folks, we're going to have a great show for you today. Welcome to those on the internet from all over the world. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Remember, you are the ones who created that magical thing, the internet, formerly known as the ARPANET, with your tax dollars, with your intellect, now controlled by billionaires, but something that, as we continue to move on, will take over. Before we go any further, we'll go ahead and go to the studio. I'm a little bit down today, but you know what? The show must go on. Good morning to the studio, Senor Howard Reynolds and Jack Van Bibba.
And we are going to take it back. That's our internet. You can't have it. Give it here.
Yes.
Morning, Egberto. It's another fine day at the radio here. Friday morning, and we've got a very exciting weekend coming up. All of our folks are going to be live and in studio and having a good time and raising funds for the radio station. And speaking of raising funds, we got our interim general manager, Sandy Wyman, on the line here. 10 cans and string have held up this morning. Good morning, Sandy.
Buenos dias, Howard. Buenos dias, Egberto. Buenos dias, South Louisiana. However it goes, say, Egberto. Good morning, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well. We begin this day around $88,500 short of our goal. If my morning math is holding up correctly, we're doing well on this fund drive, a very good pace, and let's keep it up today on Friday. Yes, Friday. The weekend's coming. Our number is 713-526-5738. Chip in a few bucks to KPFT, and let's get this puppy into 2025. Egberto.
Absolutely so, folks. We're going to have a great show today, and we're going to have, I know you guys are going to make it a great fun drive, because I tell you, the more we can get our folks involved, both socially and financially, the better it's going to be. But before we get started, before further ado, I have to get my more, Sandy always talk about, Egberto, people are just chilling and getting their morning coffee. You know who gives me my morning coffee? My morning coffee is not really that liquid. It is a guy named Jack Van Bibba, because he always gets me going. So without further ado, El Señor Jack Van Bibba.
Good morning, Egberto. How are you?
I'm doing fine, brother. Talk to me.
All right. Trump Republicans want to make Medicare Advantage the default enrollment option for seniors. Not a good idea. Progressives want the lies and deception that is Medicare Advantage to stop. Kamala Harris wants to expand real Medicare to include vision and dental benefits. Biden is giving seniors and people on Social Security a cost of living adjustment. Trump will cut Social Security benefits by a third. A $1,000 benefit will become $667. This is cruelty to seniors. They can't live on that, but I guess that's the point. If you want policies that take your benefits away and are harmful to your health and well-being and your pocketbook, then go ahead and vote for Trump. If you want policies that take care of working people, vote Harris Waltz.
We're not supposed to endorse any type of political candidate.
Oh, well,
No.
that's good. I'm not me.
Well, well, don't
Yeah.
do that because it's
Okay.
totally against the rules here at
All
this
right.
radio station.
All right. I
Yeah.
broke the rule.
All right, get over there in the
That
woodshed. I'll be there in a few minutes.
you're in the woodshed. But actually, yeah, if look, all of us have our biases as far as who we want running, and what we can do is we can do educational on these stations, whereas let me take that up because that's such an important thing that you just said, Howard. When it comes to 501c3s, and I'm into so many of these darn 501c3s as opposed and 501c4s. That's the difference between them. 501c3s can teach you and also educate you about the reality of things and tell you what candidates support X, Y, and Z, and why one candidate would be better for you if you're in situation X, Y, and Z. So I can go ahead and I can say if you are an old person, Kamala Harris policies fits more in line with you, but I can't say at all, you need to go vote for Kamala Harris because we can't command you to do a damn thing. We were a 501c3. But again, interestingly, stations on the progressive side and organizations on the progressive side follow those rules. If you just take a look at what just happened, uh, brother Van Beber, not as a host, not as a, but as a, what I would call as a commenter then, because anybody can call into this station and say, I am voting for Kamala Harris, or I am voting for Donald Trump, or I prefer Donald Trump. They can call in and say whatever the hell they want because it's their station. But those who are running the show, and in this case, Egberto Willies running politics done right, you will I must attempt to not say that. Now, if you go to Fox News, and I was watching Fox News last night. Well, I watch Fox News right through the day. Let me not lie to you. I watch it all the time. Fox News, MSNBC, all the rest. They never follow those rules. They absolutely never follow those rules. And sadly, because of that, and I contend that it's because of that, our politics are in lousy shape. But I digress. Thank you for the commentary, Brother Van Beber, about the Medicare, etc. Very important. Last sentence is the only thing we can't really say. Um, let's go to. I have a lot to talk about, but two calls came in already, and I see a name I hadn't seen before, so I want to bring that up. Kenny, come on in, brother.
Hey, good morning, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Glad,
How you doing, my brother?
glad I'm good, sir. I'm good. Glad to be on the show. I listen to you guys in the morning on the drive in. I'll be honest, I'm 180 degrees different politically, but I've
Mm-hmm.
always loved and contributed to KPFT because I love the music and I love the hometown flavor. I played in the golf tournaments and tried to be a part of the program. It's not very easy as a conservative.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like listening to NPR as a conservative. You want
Mm-hmm.
intelligent conversation, but I'm afraid you just get one side. And
Mm-hmm.
all I would just say is, no, Trump does not want to cut Medicare. He's not going to cut Medicaid. But if you keep giving Social Security to people who have not paid into the system, it's going
Mm-hmm.
broke. So
Mm-hmm.
we can either look at things wide-eyed and be honest about the money, or we can just keep on stumbling into the dark. So just keep an open mind and take a look at both sides, and
Kenny,
take in.
I
You know,
first of all, I'm first of all, I want to thank you for listening to the show as a conservative. Let me tell you the dirty little secret. I have two shows that I do every day, and between 35 to 45% of the folks that are listening to my show is conservative. And let me just say one thing, and I promise you this is not a plug, but I wrote a book called "How to Talk to Your Right-Wing Relative Friends and Neighbors," and and it's worth it. How to talk to your conservative friends, relatives, and I mean, actually, right wing friends, relative, and neighbors. And the reason I did that was even for something that you said about having an open mind. And I am very left wing, very, very left wing. But I hold absolutely no animosity towards conservatives, and my audience would tell you that straight up. Because I do think we need the conservative voice to ensure that I don't go bat, you know what, crazy in my bleeding heart, if you will. Okay? So that's understood. Now, I have done calculations and I've done interviews with conservatives, and I mean deep conservatives, and asked questions, etc. And guess what I found out, Kenny? Guess what I found out? I found out
Tell me.
that when you go ahead and claim to be as conservative as you say you are, and the things that you say you want, they differ. And I'm not talking about social issues here, I'm talking about fiscal issues. They differ very little with the thing the most left-wing progressive wants. And even if I look at the statement that you've just made right there, I can see that because you made a statement about Medicare and Social Security, about Trump not wanting to get rid of that, etc., based on what you know. I can tell you specifically, you're right. The only difference is how what he's saying and how he wants to implement it. And while the story is now that Project 2025 is not real, I can tell you from a factual standpoint that Project 2025 is not only real, but it has already been placed in effect during the Trump first administration. And the story that I'm doing today on Medicare Advantage is proof positive of that. It is a privatization of everything, including the potential for the privatization of certain parts of Social Security. Now, when I ask questions devoid of party or ideology, it's amazing how many conservatives agree with the positions that I'm taking. And I hope you continue to listen to the program, because I think over time you'll see a lot of that when we not go into rhetoric, but we go into actual numbers. Anyway, Kenny, finish up for me with whatever you need to say for me to go to the next call.
No, it's Friday. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. It's going to be beautiful today. It's nice that it's not 100 degrees in Houston, and I hope everybody just appreciates everything that they have, enjoy their blessings, get out and vote whichever way you vote, and God bless being Houston and being Texas. Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you, Kenny, and thank you for being a contributor, brother. You have a good day. All right, let's go to Brother Johnny.
Brother Kenny sounds like he could do a good W impression.
I mean, but he said, look, Kenny's a nice guy. And, look, what I try to tell, and I tell the conservatives on a 3 o'clock show, we are victims of how we were reared, right? In my case, I think I became a hell of a lot more progressive when I came to the United States and learned a whole lot, right? But, we're victims to how we were reared. Continue, brother.
We're all on our journeys. We're all time travelers. So I've got five simple questions. The first four are true or false questions. And I only want to hear from one person, one fellow time traveler in the audience. That is our friend Brian. I want to hear his answer to these 5 questions. None of the other conservatives, just him. Question number 1, true or false? Donald placed the letter C on rental applications for his father's apartment units in Queens, New York, to indicate which people who were applying were potential colored or black people. True or false? True or false number 2. Donald has released his high school and or college transcripts. True or false number 3. Donald promised the American people he'd take no presidential salary because he was wealthy and he'd work for free. But at the end of 4 years, he made off with $1.6 billion, as in boy, $1 billion. Is that true or false? Number 4, Ronald Reagan suffered from Alzheimer's or dementia during his final years in office. And finally, number 5, how many times has Donald declared bankruptcy?
Did you write all of that down, Johnny?
I did, because I don't trust my 65-year-old demented.
Well, that's the reason I asked, because I don't think I could do that without writing it down. That was good. But anyway, I am pretty sure that brother Brian is reading that. I mean, listening to that, and he'll have answers for you, because you know he's going to call. So we love us some Brian. Come on now. Anyway, Johnny, thank you for the questions, and let's let him answer it. And if you need to give us a shout back, you do. All right.
And I care about
Peace.
our fellow traveler, Brian, specifically more than I do the other conservative callers, because he has the most potential to help us save this country. The other ones, they're pretty much a lost cause. Well, not totally true. Ronald McDonald, he's an ally. I see him as an ally. But I'm not worried about Ronald McDonald.
You know what is so funny? You know what is so funny? You start naming all these conservatives, and you realize after a while is, oh, damn it, I like Brian. We just had Kenny call in. Oh, dang it, I like Kenny. Folks, we're getting somewhere. Hey, I talk to you later, Johnny. All right, let's go to Harry. Come on in, brother Harry. Man, you guys aren't giving me a chance to even start the show. Hold on, Harry. I need to do I need to go to Sandy to get a little pitch here. Remember, we're in Fun Drive, and I got to do a quick pitch here. I'm coming to you right now, Harry. Bear with me, folks. Please, we are in Fun Drive, and yes, we want to have a show, which we always do. Sandy has been kind enough to extend it 15 minutes so that we can get a little bit more of the show in as we collect for what we need to get collected to keep the station going. So I'm asking you so kindly to please give us a call at 713-526-5738, extension number 1, to give as best as you can. If you are a listener that has never ever given, but you really like what we do, whether you're conservative or liberal or progressive or anarchy or whatever you believe in. You see, Kenny is a supporter, man, and Kenny's a conservative. And I think Kenny likes the show. He called in, man. You know, but fun and joke aside, we do need your support. Give us a call at 713-526-5738, extension number 1. What about a coffee a month, $5 a month? What about 2 coffees a month, $10 a month? Whatever you can. Our T-shirt, the Politics Done Right T-shirt. And you know what would be good? I'm going to put, well, I'm not going to say that right now. I'll say it later. But give us a call at 713-526-5738, extension number 1, or go to kpft.org and select the donate button. Remember to select Politics Done Right as the program you're supporting, and give whatever you can. And look, we can keep this thing going. I have a big donut hole here, zero. If you can help us move forward, we will be so happy, and we will get to continue doing our mission. Where can you get a Howard Reynolds, a Jacques Van Bever, and a Sandy all in the same place, man? Anyway, Sandy.
Thank you, Egberto. And this is a vital discussion. I mean that word vital in all good terms here. Houston's a big place. We have people from all walks of life, from all over the world. It's a model city, if you will, for the United States because of the diversity. And it's really important that when we have these discussions on the air, that we do have people from all stripes participating. As you said, we're getting somewhere. You know, this person isn't evil just because they don't agree with my politics. They're my neighbor, they're my friend, so I appreciate that. And you're right, we have a big donut hole, Egberto. Come on, someone be the first one to pledge, make it a sustainer, get it matched with a $50 bill. All of that's possible when you take action. When you don't, we're still at zero. We don't want to be a zero, we want to be a hero. Folks, I can't speak loudly enough to having KPFT in Houston and broadcasting. This is an essential resource. Not quite the same as water coming from your faucet, maybe, but it's nutrients and life for the mind, for each other in terms of the dialogue. So come on, you conservatives out there, you liberals out there, Democrats, Republicans, independents, it doesn't matter. If you're listening, you're part of this. You're part of the ownership of this. And part of owning something is taking care of it. That's what we're doing here. We're taking care of KPFT as we do 4 times a year, hopefully next year 3, depending on largely the outcome of this drive and how we approach 2025. It may be entirely possible to cut out a fund drive at this point. We need more sustainers. If you haven't given this year, this drive, $5 a month, $5 a month. You can't even go around the 99-cent window with the $5 bill anymore and have to put in a little bit more. It's just the way it works. Things have gotten more expensive for KPFT as well, although we're holding the line on these goals for fund drive and making do, largely because we have only one full-time paid employee. That would be Howard. We're doing everything we can to keep this station where it is. All I'm asking, all Egberto is asking Howard, Jack, and the rest of us, KPFT, and all the other listeners, talking to you that haven't pledged, is that you participate. 713-526-5738, option 1, or kpft.org. You can get a KPFT coffee cup. You can pair it with some coffee beans from Lola Savannah, and you can divide all of it up into monthly payments, no matter what premium you take. Concert tickets, all of it. The fajita dinner in November. The cruise with Ronnie and Tom, the R&R guys, in December. Or the brunch at Under the Volcano in January. All of that can be divided into monthly payments. Call the number 713-526-5738, hit option 1, and talk to the donation center about how much you'd like to give and what you're eligible for in terms of a thank you gift. Still looking for that first pledge. Egberto, back to you.
Thank you so kindly, Sandy. Folks, it's 713-526-5738, extension number 1 to donate, or go to kpft.org, hit the donate button, select Politics Done Right as a program you're supporting, and please give whatever you support. Hey, do we have a person with deep pockets out there that, whether you're, that says, I like what we're doing here, let me support it? Deep pockets? Come on, give us a call or go to the internet and support something that you know is worth supporting. Harry, thank you for waiting so long, my brother. Come on in, Harry.
No, no problem. Feliz Viernes, Egberto. Good morning to Howard. Good morning to Jack, and good morning to Sandy. Let's keep KPFT going. I did hear Marlo Blue on Hugh Talk on Dr. John and Mike Show yesterday talking about that she's scared of this and that there are people who want this station to go away. Well, we don't want this station to go away. Like I've said many times on this show, it's edifying, it's educational, and it's entertaining. I've got 2 more to add to Johnny's list that call this show. If Breitbart and Jeff are listening, if you heard Johnny's questions about Donald Trump and Ronald Reagan, give KPFT a call and give us your answers, as we know Brian will give his answers on what Johnny said. Now, there are a few things I wanted to get off my chest. Well, the first thing I wanted to say is I was listening to Artie Arneson this morning. Her guest in the first half hour, Tom Jamansky, I think, was the author of a book about how Republicans cheat, and he was talking about, he mentioned when Richard Nixon got into office, how they prolonged the Vietnam War so that he could get elected. And then when Reagan got into office, which I'm also aware of, they held on to the hostages until so that Reagan could get elected. There's more to it than that, because there was I've discussed this with my brother. When Jimmy Carter was running for that second term, they had something called Eagle Claw, Eagle something, what it was called, and it didn't work out, and the hostages didn't get released, and that kind of hurt Jimmy Carter's re-election chances. And then, let's see, the other thing I wanted to discuss is I did hear Kathleen, and I did hear Huma, and Huma, my heart, my soul, my feelings go out to you. Like I was talking to Egberto about how I'm going to vote with the third party and all that, because I really feel for Rashida Tlaib's people, and how Amy is doing an excellent job on Democracy Now!, talking to these Judean people and how they're suffering over there and what Netanyahu's doing. And I like her position on how Kamala Harris, and I know she won't do it because she's under control of AIPAC, but she won't come out and take a stronger stance on how, like you want and a lot of other.
I got it, Harry. I get the point, and I really have to go because the lines are completely full. But I get the point. I just
one other thing before I go.
yes, sir. Sure, go ahead, sir.
Yes,
Yes, real quick.
I wanted to know, when you started the show, you said you were feeling kind of down. I want to know why you're feeling down today.
Well, I really haven't slept. The last uncle on my paternal side died last night, so it's kind of rough. Yeah, it's kind of rough right now. But he was 80. He was 89, and I was going to tie it into. Thanks for asking, Harry. Let me just say this real quick.
Yeah,
I was going to tie it into.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. But let me just tell you.
Again, and I'll be thinking about you.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Let me just say this. Thank you for asking. I want to add this. You give me an opportunity to say this, and I'm coming to you, Gil, Bard, and everybody, and Jacob, etc. My uncle was 89 years old. He lived a great life. He moved from Panama to New York, and he has great health care via Medicare, traditional Medicare, etc. And I watch as they really try to do what's best for him. And finally, it had to end last night because we don't want, and he would not have wanted to live as a vegetable for the rest of his life. But as I sit and watch my 89-year-old, well, I've been in contact with my cousin who kept me up to date continuously. As I watched him die, as I watch him, the great health care that he was afforded because he had traditional Medicare, and that he lived probably another 10 years because of that good health care that he has, given the problems that he had, but good health care. And me watching what Medicare Advantage have done to people in his same situation who would not have gotten that 10 years. Like I said, my last living uncle on the paternal side. One of the reasons I do what I do is because we have a system that so disrespect the intelligence of the population, so malign the population of America. Right now, we are throwing a whole lot of people, and Brother Kenny, with all due respect you, of course. But when we talk about what the intent of the policies, this is not something that is not written down. This stuff is written down of what we intend to do with our social services like Medicare that work very, very well and have saved the lives of people and extended the lives of people to have productive lives, and to understand what's going to happen to people now with Medicare Advantage. And this is not a question. This is not up for debate. You cannot put a profit motive in the same pool of money and expect to get more service out of it. It is impossible. And that we have advertising, that we have psychological messaging that fool people. I want to give a big thank you to Tanya for your kind contribution. And sorry for this soapbox, folks, but Harry opened the door and I had to get that out. We'll talk about that later. Let me get to Brother Gil, and then we'll continue. Come on in, Gil.
Good morning, sir. Sorry for your loss and your family, sir.
I appreciate you, sir.
My comment question is, going back to Social Security, regardless of how it might have been compromised over the many decades, when someone said people are not putting into it, but they're getting something out of it, is the redistribution of the wealth in terms of tax payments, could it be easily corrected or at least saved in some sense for the next maybe 20 years?
Brother, let me tell you, Social Security, first of all, don't buy the hype that Social Security is about to go bankrupt, right? That's not what's going to happen. There's a whole lot of money coming into Social Security constantly. At worst, if you're not going to deficit spend to keep funding Social Security, which is exactly what we will do, there's no risk of Social Security running out of money as they would have you there. This is all talk. So for all the people listening to me, the thing about it is how it's going to be handled and how it's going to be dispersed, whether we're going to have COLAs, cost of living increases, and that sort of thing. Let me just tell you a few dirty secrets about Social Security. Let's say Elon Musk, he makes $10 billion a year or whatever he makes. The only amount of his money that's taxed for Social Security is the first $140,000 or so. Again, he makes not millions, he makes billions. And he only pays taxes on up to $140,000, just like the highest paid worker. That's all they pays. Okay, let me tell you what that means. What that means is if we really wanted to fix Social Security, we could tax all income, whether it's called worker income or capital gains income, the kind of income rich people make, or dividend income. If we applied Social Security taxes to all of it, in other words, treat all Americans the same, we could reduce the Social Security tax from 14%, which is what it is right now. You pay 7%, your employer pays 7%. As a sole proprietor, I pay the full 15% of whatever income I make on Social Security. Elon Musk doesn't, because Elon Musk makes much more money than all of that. So, what I'm saying, brother, is all we have to do is treat income equitably, and Social Security would not only be solvent, but every American that's not a millionaire would get a tax cut, because we could reduce the Social Security rate from 14 point something percent way down to probably who knows how low it could go. Because most of the wealth and money and income is in the hands of a very few people. The difference when we talk about the difference between the Trump and a Kamala Harris, etc., those are the types of policies we're talking about. Policies that say let's tax everything equitably and define everything equitably. What the rich has done is it has says wages will be defined as income, so we can have up to a 39% rate on wages. And I need more time to explain this that I don't have right now, but suffice it to say that the wealthy's income, they define it differently than the income of the worker. And as such, we pay more taxes on a per capita basis than the wealthy person. And even many conservatives, if I were to sit down and have coffee with, let's say, Kenny, who called and said he's conservatives, I think he would eventually say, okay, Berto, I'm socially conservative, but I am progressive fiscally. But anyway, I hope I kind of answered your question, Gil.
Yes, you did, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You have a wonderful rest of your day, sir. Let's go ahead and go to Jacob. Come on in, Jacob.
Condolences.
Brother Jacob.
Yes, sir. Condolences, man. Hey.
Thank you, brother.
I'm conservative. I'm conservative. Conservative don't mean that you're a Republican, though, right? You know that, right?
Oh, you know something, Jacob? If I didn't say that I know that, or if I implied that I didn't know that, I did know that. Not only that, in fact, you should have heard some of my shows where I talk about our liberal Republicans, who are the ones that were really who actually closed the deal on the civil rights legislation. Progressive Republicans. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, because I'm a conservative. I don't mean I'm a Republican. That means that I have my value system is a little bit different. Liberal means that pretty much, some people anything goes pretty much. You choose. Now you choose because I'm not nobody. I'm not their God, so I don't try to. I'm not saying you should do this or you should do that. But me personally, I choose not because who I represent and because of my, I don't have a religion, because of my spirituality and, who I am as a people, I can't do certain things. I just can't agree upon.
I want to say thank you. You're right. You're right about that. You're right about that. And, I don't know if you remember when I spoke about my sister. My sister's a very conservative. My older sister is a very conservative woman. I am a very progressive, and my little sister is progressive as well. But then I did an analysis after I did an interview with her and realized that if I look at my family in Panama is conservative. That's why I told Johnny today I came over here, learned a few things, and became very progressive. Okay, so I read you, etc. But Jacob, can we call tomorrow? My phones are full, full, full. So
All
let me
right,
go ahead and try
last
to.
thing,
Yeah.
Kamala is in town, if I'm not mistaken. She's in town, and Beyonce is in town, and I think Colin, they really doing it for Colin. For Colin.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. Yeah, they are.
Okay.
You're right. Thank you, brother. Let's go to Brother Bard. Wait, before Bard, let me do a quick pick here. Folks, please give us a call at 713-526-5738, extension number 1, to help us get this fund drive going. I have one donor so far. Tanya, thank you so kindly. We need a whole bunch more. So could you give us a call at 713-526-5738, extension number 1? $5 a month, $10 a month, or whatever you can. Think about it. We are worth it because we provide a necessary service. Let me pass it on to Brother Sandy, our general manager, and then we'll take it from there.
That would be interim. Thank you, Egberto. And thank you to Tanya for getting us started this morning. Right now, there are thousands of you listening. Yes, that's right. And the audience continues to grow at 6 a.m. to listen to this program. For those of you that listen, maybe daily, maybe this is a routine, you're on the way to work or working from home and get that coffee and turn this on while you're getting ready for your day. No matter what you're doing, if you're not participating, then everybody else is making it possible for you to hear this. We don't have commercial sponsors at KPFT. There's no one writing the really big checks. We do have an anonymous donor that's going to put a $50 bill on your $5 a month contribution as a sustainer. We do have benefactors that do write large checks, but no one person carries a note. There's no card dealer or soft drink vendor or, maybe the people that make the beer or make the Medicare Advantage plan advertising here. You don't hear ads because there are no ads. We're commercial free. So for all of those that are participating, thank you very much for doing so. Tanya, thank you very much for re-upping your membership. We're looking for a few of you out there this morning that can also participate. We're going to continue doing this until we get at or very near our goal on November 5th. However, we'll gladly end it today if we hit our goal today. But it's going to take a few more of you than Tanya to make that happen. So folks, consider please making that call, 713-526-5738, option 1, or kpft.org, and hit the donate button. We need you. We all need you. Conservative, liberal, independent, not voting, doesn't matter. If you're listening, you're part of this. So please vote to keep Pacifica Radio in Houston, as it's been for 54 and a half years. Let's get to 55 and well beyond. Commercial free means no influence. It means we can air programs like this and let you call up and participate in a dialogue. The one thing we all need to do, talk to each other, gain understanding. So come on now. I don't know what else to say except that if not for our listeners, you wouldn't hear us. 713-526-5738, option 1. kpft.org. A Politics Done Right t-shirt is a $100 pledge. Some coffee beans, and a mug, $120. If you want to make that with a 32-ounce stainless steel thermos bottle that will keep that coffee hot if you take it with you, it's a little bit more. I want to say $150 pledge. All of this can be broken up into monthly payments. Please do consider adding the sustaining pledge behind it so that we get the match and we get the money every month coming in. And as we do, it makes it so much easier to navigate the $52,000 labyrinth of bills that come into the mailbox at KPFT each and every month. One more time, our number 713-526-5738, option 1. And thank you in advance for your generosity. Egberto, back to you.
Thank you so kindly, folks. 713-526-5738, extension number 1. Come on, a coffee a day, $5 a month, 2 coffees a day, a month, $10 a month. It's really, you can really make a difference. I'm coming to you, Bart, but before I want to address Eric on the chat. He says Bidenomics was a disaster and Kamalanomics would be worse. Let me just point out a few facts that I think it's important that the mainstream media doesn't say enough about this. After we had the epidemic, the pandemic, and this is important. Please listen in detail. This is very important. What Donald Trump did when he came into office was he continued what Obama 75 months worth of employment gains, economic growth, etc. He actually had no policies that he wrote in his, and this is a statement of fact, no policies that he wrote, economic policies that changed the trajectory of what Obama built after the 2008 crash that we have. All of this is something you can go ahead and research on your own. You don't have to listen to me, but it's important for me to say it when somebody puts this into the ethos. So therefore, what Donald Trump did are 2 things. He passed a humongous tax cut. That tax cut was not paid for. It came out of deficit spending. And he also applied several tariffs. That also was a tax increase that you paid for. The average American citizen paid for those tariffs because the tariffs is a sales tax. So those are the 2 major policies passed in the first 3 years of the Trump administration. A tax cut that's not paid for, which is a reverse form of Keynesian economics. What it does is it throws a whole lot of money into the economy throws a whole lot of money into the hands of the wealthy. And if they spend it, it goes into the economy. If they don't spend it like they didn't, you keep on the same trajectory that you were on. That's what he did. Then we had the pandemic that was mismanaged. Over 200,000 people more died than had to die. In fact, we could have knocked the pandemic out earlier on if we had taken it serious. Brother Biden comes in and fixes the problem. You want to know how you know it is his policies that fix the problem? No other country in the OECD have been successful in bringing down inflation that attacked the entire world, bringing down inflation, and not only bringing down inflation, but also recovering absolutely all the jobs that were lost because of the pandemic and bringing back millions more. Unfortunately, you don't get this story in the mainstream media, but it's all for you to see. That's why Biden was so pissed off that how can people not see this? Our economy is doing better than any other economy in the world. Now, it still has the problems about how money is distributed, but that is not a Biden problem. That is a capitalism problem. He fixed the economy. He fixed this capitalist economy, and it's running on all cylinders. He fixed it. But on all cylinders doesn't save the working class. We have to have a structural change in the economy. And some of the things that Kamala is now proposing to buy homes, to handle rents, to handle these other things, those are the things that are making structural differences to capitalism. Notice when she has to say it this way, but she says, I am a pragmatic capitalist. That is something like what Senator, the woman said, I can't remember her name right now, said. We have to have a structural change in the economy so that the wealth in the economy can be better distributed to those who actually produce the wealth. All right, I just needed to say that to correct the not misinformation, that in the case of Eric, it's misinformation generated from disinformation. All right, let's go to Bart. Come on in, Bart. And I'm going to throw you guys on for no more than a minute and a half. Come on, Bart.
Good morning, sir. Your older sister sounds really cool and brilliant. I was wondering, where did she go to college?
My sister went to school in I don't remember what college in California, but yeah, I don't remember what college, but that's okay. In San Diego.
Okay, well, all right. Well, I wanted to say that your
And by the way,
show
let
has.
me stop you. Wait, hold on. Let me stop you. I love my sister to death. My sister is very, very smart, and her conservatism didn't come from school. It came from her becoming an evangelical Christian with a church I don't particularly care for. But it's not for me to care for her church, it's for me to care about her. All right, finish.
Your show changed me this week. You had some callers, some female callers calling in about the patriarchy earlier this week, and so I've decided to switch over parties. If you guys want to have Bruce Jenner win Woman of the Year, I'm supporting it now. You want to
You are
have
so funny. Okay.
Admiral Richard Levine in the Navy be Woman of the Year, I'll
Bart.
support that.
All right, Bart.
Have
Come you
men gold medals in women's sports. I'm down with it now. I've changed.
All right,
So
comic Bart, stop. I still love you, brother. I still love you, but I'm going to go to something a bit more serious now. But thank you, brother. You have a wonderful rest of your
I'm
day.
serious. I'm serious.
We talk later, Bart. Bart,
Patrick.
we'll talk later,
Patrick.
brother. Thank you for waiting, man. Thank you for waiting. All right, let's go to Betty. Come on in, Betty. You're on, Betty.
Oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, I want to take Medicare and Social Security. They give us a lease on life. I got rid of my supplement after 2 years. I got Medicare, and then 2 years I got supplement, but I quit that because I didn't go to the doctor that much. I could pay, the doctor's visit, but the Medicare took care of that because I hadn't been to a doctor's office since 2018, so that supplement, you'd really have to weigh that on your mind.
Right.
But about your uncle, and I lost my last sister. She was 89 in January the 19th. You have to grieve to get to the other side of the door, Alberto, always. But anyway, this is for Kamala is woman. She can throw her clothes out the window, and she can run out there and catch it before they fall. I love y'all. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Betty. You have a wonderful day, sister. Let's go to brother Jeff. Come on in, Jeff.
Good morning, Egberto. How are you?
I am doing fine, sir. Talk to me.
Well, it was kind of funny what Bard said, and that was pretty funny. We gotta laugh every once in a while. I have a big problem with your taxing dividends and capital gains.
Okay.
And the reason being is, I've worked hard all my life, and I put money off to the side, and I'm semi-retired, and I'm living off some dividends, and you want to tax that too, and capital gains. I have money in the stock market, and everybody, it's called personal responsibility. I thought ahead, and I put money off to the side for my retirement, and Social Security, I knew that it wasn't going to be enough. There's too many damn politicians and people in that money. So I put money off to the side. It was personal responsibility. And that's what's wrong with America now. Nobody has personal responsibility. They want to live off the government or get money from the government. And,
Can I entertain you? I mean, you give you make it an important point that I want to entertain. Because you did the right thing. You're right. The way our system is set up right now, it is said, okay, you go to work, you take some extra money, and you go ahead and put it away in a mutual fund or 401k, and you get dividends, etc. And that dividend or your mutual fund, while you have it in a 401k or a what do you call? There's another thing, IRA or whatever, you get a chance to save all that money tax free. That's how it goes. And by the way, Jeff, you are going to pay taxes on the money you withdraw. I mean, what I'm talking about has nothing to do with you, because here's how it works with you. You went ahead and you had excess capital that you were able to save. You saved it into a mutual fund via 401k or one of those guys, and all that money was allowed to grow tax free. In other words, you put that money in there tax deferred, it grew tax free, and then you paid. Right now, whenever you withdraw from your 401k after you're 59 years old, you will pay taxes on that. All right. So you didn't get saved from the taxes. You're not wealthy enough to get saved in the taxes because you are going to be affecting the collection of that 401k as income. All right. Now, what I'm talking
Well,
about
I
is
am
very,
wealthy.
very, huh? What's that,
I
sir?
am wealthy. I mean, I'm getting taxed off that
No,
everywhere.
no. And that's what hear me out. What I'm saying is the policies that I'm talking about does not affect you because you didn't get saved by this program. You are paying taxes. When you withdraw your money from your 401k, you will be taxed on that for your effective tax rate. So I'm not talking about you. I am talking about that wealthy person who goes ahead and trades your stock for capital gains, who pays a capital gains tax as opposed to the kind of tax you pay when you withdraw from your mutual fund. It's a very different tax. You pay more.
Well, I trade all. Yeah, I mean, I don't want. I don't think we should be anything that you put. I think you should pay a flat tax rate, and that's it. Don't get taxed on your capital gains or any
Well,
or your
wait, hold on a
dividends.
second. Look, Jeff, I hear you. I understand that. That is what a lot of capitalists push, right? Because you mentioned another important thing, very important. You said um, because you have to put away that money for saving because Social Security is not going to do its job. So I'm going to ask you to let's rethink our social policies here, right? You work very hard. Can I ask you what do you do?
Well, I worked for a government agency. I worked for another government agency before,
Okay,
and my
good. That's fine.
parents
That's good enough. That's good enough. That's good
they
enough.
were
That's good
wealthy.
enough. That's good enough, sir. But you provide an important service for us. Okay. You work for a government agency. You do an important service for us. You know that guy who sweeps the floor in front of that building? Doesn't he do an important service as well?
That's me. I took a lower paying job so I could retire semi and be at the
Okay, but
progressive money out of my
what I'm
pocket.
trying to say, Jeff, what I'm trying to say is every American citizen that's listening to my voice right now, unless they're sitting down, able to work, but just decide they don't want to work, they're contributing to society, right? We should have an economic system that that allows them when they retire, may I finish? That allow
Yes.
them when they retire to have a decent living standard, both medically and economically. We shouldn't have to we shouldn't have to be lucky if I put my money in a particular stock and lucky for me it went up, but for somebody else it went down, and thus I will be living well if I made the right gamble, but you not if you make the wrong gamble. We should have social and economic policies that gives everybody a baseline, but I don't want to go into that because I don't have a lot of time to talk about that, Jeff. But I want you to keep
Okay.
listening and keep calling and bring this subject up because I want to explore it some more. All right, brother?
All right. Thank you, Eduardo.
You have a wonderful day. All right, we got to do a little bit more pitching before I jump to Patrick, Donald, and Brian. Folks, first of all, I want to give a big, humongous hey. Hey, so you see, guys, we are international as we have Barcelona, Spain, and today we have someone who says, I'm Canadian who is now going to apply for citizenship. Thank you so kindly and welcome to America. Thank you, Heather, for that wonderful contribution. And Heather became a sustainer. I love you. I love you. Thank you very much. We need about 5 more Heathers right now. Can we get a call at 713-526-5738, extension number 1 to contribute? Please consider becoming a sustainer. Hey, guess what? $5 a month, that's like a coffee a month. $10 a month, that's like 2 coffees a month. I know you can do that. And just like Heather did one of those, I know you can as well. Or you can go to kpft.org, select donate. Please remember to say politics done right so that I don't get a penny of it, but I just want it to be a noted that we did bring something in to the fold. Before I get to the guys, let's go ahead and bring Brother Sandy in.
Thank you, Egberto. I could just say whatever he said, do it. That'd be great. Hey, Heather, thank you so much. And welcome. Yes, welcome. Canada's a really cool country, too. Not cold. It does get cold, but it's a great place to go hang out, let me tell you, all over Canada. Folks, we've got 2 people participating now. Again, there are thousands of you out there listening to this broadcast this morning. And I would imagine that the odds are that having only 2 people step up are pretty low. I know more of you understand our plight at KPFT being commercial free. We operate on a super thin budget. It's gone down over the years to the point where, again, 1 full-time employee is all that we have, what the FCC requires. Some people talk to us about Corporation for Public Broadcasting. They have a minimum number of employees on a radio station before they'll consider a grant. We don't even meet that barrier. So what we're trying to do is to get to more stable footing. And the way that we've been doing this over the last couple of years is 1 pledge at a time, 1 new member at a time, 1 person that hasn't donated in a long time stepping forward. Are you next? Can you help out here with everybody else? It's a great place because of the programming. It's a great place because these are local folks. Egberto lives in the area. I'm not going to give you his address, but he lives in the area, as do probably 95% or more of the voices that you hear on the air every day. Amy Goodman lives in New York, for instance. It's local. It's your community radio station. It's our community radio station. So help with the bills. Dial 713-526-5738, option 1, or go to kpft.org and consider that $5 or $10 or $15 or $20 a month pledge. By the way, Heather, your pledge is greeted with a $50 bill match. So the money that you provided for us this morning is amplified, another $50, very welcomed in our universe. And by becoming a sustainer, you just made it a whole lot easier through the course of the coming months to pay the bills, knowing that we have a base of money coming in every month, not a zero between fund drives, but a base on which we can rely to help stretch the bank account between fund drives. It gets so much easier. The drives get shorter, in effect. The last one, which took 17 days the year prior, only took 9.5. That's how the effect of becoming a sustainer works. So please, folks, do that. Pick up whatever thank you gift you want, but the biggest thank you of all is having this independent voice on the airwaves in Houston. The biggest thank you of all is maybe to you not hearing a whole lot of commercials. Commercials repeated over and over, ad nauseum, coming back and doing 10 minutes of whatever people are doing, and then another 5 to 10 minutes of commercials. It's almost 50-50 and some times of the day now. We're not following that path. We're following an independent path that involves you, the listener. So 713-526-5738, option 1, for kpft.org. Already 361 donations have been made toward this fund drive. Can you be number 362? Batter up. Come on. Let's get this done. And thank you for listening. You're tuned to 90.1 KPFT Houston. Back to you, Egberto.
Thank you so kindly, Sandy. Folks, 713-526-5738, extension number 1 to donate. Hit that 1, and hey, we're ready to go. And welcome aboard, Jay, in the chat as well. Eric, tariffs right now on several things are, yeah, like 2%, 3%. When I brought certain products in, it was, there's some products that I paid 3, 5%, whatever on it. The kind of tariffs that Donald Trump is talking about, he actually numbered it anywhere between 20% and 300%. That's not chump change. That's inflationary, but we'll talk about that and where I explain tariffs a little bit later. For now, let me go to Brother Donald. Donald, you've been on hold for a long time, and Patrick, but thank you. We're in Fund Drive. That's why. Let's go ahead, Donald. Come on in, brother.
Good morning, Alberto. Sorry for your loss.
Thank you, brother.
Here it is. You live in one of the greatest cities in the world and one of the best states in the country. We're not going to kick you when you're down. We're going to pick you up, help you back on your feet, then we're going to kick you because it builds character. But welcome to the greatest dysfunctional family in the whole wide world. That is 90.1 KPFT. We agree on the music. Politics we differ, but we still come together in the time of need. But I was going to ding you today on Huma yesterday called in, and y'all were jumping her. I want to know the rest of her story. I want her to call back in on Monday. But your women callers, where's Wendy? Melissa, we ain't heard from in a while. And, oh, doggone it, I forgot the other one. But the lady's got to call back in because just because you get a taste in your mouth the first time, it's not that bad. And that's all I got to say.
Oh, wait, Donald, let me just give you some ups. Melissa listens to the show. A lot of times she doesn't call in the mornings. I guess she's busy doing a whole lot of stuff, but she does call in on the 3 o'clock show. So Melissa is still around, just fine, hanging out with us. Wendy calls every so often. They all tell me whenever I hear from them, they do listen, but unlike guys that have a lot.
Anita.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, thank you, Donald. And women, yes, call women, please. Let's make Donald's day and make sure that you guys continue to run the show because, we want women leadership. That's what we need. Thank you, Donald. Hey, you have a great day, brother. Patrick, you've been on hold for a long time. Patrick, come on in, brother. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's fine. It's worth it being able to talk to everybody. I want to tell you sorry for your loss. I'll tell you something that I wasn't prepared for, and something that I found out that I liked least about growing old is watching everybody disappear that have been around for so long. So I feel for you. Wanted to talk about the Social Security.
Actually, hold on. I forgot to do one thing. This is KPFT 90.1 FM. Houston. This is KPFT 90.1 FM Houston. Thank you. Continue, please, Patrick.
I hear the two-sided argument all the time. There's usually not two truths, and so to when somebody calls up, and I'm not attacking them or anything, but when somebody calls up and they're saying, well, what about the other side? What about the other side? There's usually somebody that's uncomfortable with hearing the truth because they understand that what they believed might not work. So he said something about having to pay into Social Security. Social Security is for everybody, and one of the reasons why it's called Social Security is people that can't pay into it need it the most. I took care of somebody with rheumatoid arthritis all the way through college. He didn't have a job until he got out of college. And there's no way he'd be able to pay into that up until then. And this guy couldn't get in and out of bed. He couldn't get in and out of a shower without it. There's other people that were born into this society that might not fit into it, and that wasn't their choice. And they can't pitch into Social Security. What progressives want to do is they want to tax people that are making 8 digits to make the rest of society work better and be more peaceful. If somebody doesn't have the minimum of what they need, you're going to be in a more violent society. So even if somebody's not paying into Social Security and maybe you never even collect it, you're still benefiting from it, from a more safe society. Now I want to move on from that, and I'm going to mispronounce her.
Let me interrupt you there. Let me hold on, Patrick. Because what you said is important, and what I want to do is make two comments on that. One is, and that is why we are here, right? Because you gave the perspective, and you gave the examples, and you gave the stories that a conservative station wouldn't give, right? So therefore, the conservative station would play to the carnality of the minds of those people who follow them. If you sit down and spoke to the conservatives which I have, and express things as you did, many of them would say, "Oh, okay, yeah, I see that." And then, like I had a person at a Starbucks tell me, "I see that. Now let me think of a conservative way to solve that problem." And I say, "Go at it." And that conservative way eventually turned out to be pretty damn similar to what we say should really be done. And that's where the commonality eventually comes, with understanding and conversation and assuming that the other person isn't bad. But what the right does a whole lot is it demonizes what you just said. Then they'll be lazy people. And then you say, well, you're correct for that. So anyway, just wanted to open that up. Continue, please, Patrick.
I'm glad you said that, because that kind of reminds me or got my mind thinking. Dean Becker is a host that has a program on KPFT.
Yeah, my brother, yeah.
This is Radio for Peace, and he is very conservative, and all of his guests are libertarians, which are way to the right. But I can't disagree with anything they say, because they're speaking the truth. Their goal is to reduce suffering among people that are in need, and they're conservative. There's not two sides to that. So yeah, I mean, we will solve everything the same way if we talk long enough. But the next the caller from yesterday that I wanted to address too was, I'm not being disrespectful, and I know this isn't your name, but Uma is the only way I can label it, because that's what I remember. And I apologize for not having the name right. But what I want to ask her is, I'll tell you, Biden is a monster, and I believe he's racist. And I'm glad he's not running a second term. But what I don't understand about the protest votes is, I don't see how that's going to end these wars. And
it won't.
It's bringing it's bringing in a possibility that Trump will be in office, and Trump will roll tanks on Iran, and he will escalate this. He was threatening Iran in his first term.
Patrick, I want to break in, because the calls are coming in again, but I want to agree with you and say something very important, because you nailed it. Huma's vote would actually defeat what she says she wants. In other words, she wants the Palestinians to not die. And what I'm saying is, a protest votes that then allows a Donald Trump makes more Palestinians dead. It's the same thing with the abortion argument. By doing what the conservatives wanted to do in Texas, not only has abortions increased, but deaths has increased. I mean, it defeats the purpose. And if what you're looking for is life, you want a different outcome. But hey, let's continue this, Patrick, at 3:00, brother. But very good points.
I'll see you then.
Thank you, brother. Alisari Dreams on the chat. Thank you for being here as well. Let's go to brother Brian. Brian, I don't know if you heard Johnny asked you some questions earlier. If you did, you can go for it.
No, I didn't hear that.
Okay,
first
that's
off,
okay.
I want to say thank you to Heather for the donation. Thanks, Heather. And I'm sorry to hear about your loss, man.
Thank you,
okay.
brother. Appreciate it.
All right.
Go ahead.
I was going to ask something else, but what did Johnny say? It doesn't matter. I mean, I don't care about him.
I tell you what. Go to the archives and do that. But tell me what you want to talk about today. This is your show, bro.
Okay. Kamala Harris's husband slapped a woman so hard she spun around. And where is the backlash from this when Kamala Harris did not want Brett Kavanaugh to be a Supreme Court justice when he was accused of assault like 18 years ago? or when he was 18, something like that. It was a very, very old accusation. Where's the outcry from this?
Well, the outcry is the following. So far, it had seemed like this information that's been coming out was manufactured, just like many other things that came out that had to be debunked. That's why when they came on to CNN and tried to bring it up, she said, let's go ahead and get the factual evidence for what you're saying. Not to be found. So again, if somebody finds evidence that's really and corroborated that says that the way we found evidence on Donald Trump and also self-directed evidence on Donald Trump and others, then we can talk about it. Kavanaugh as well. So that's all I'm saying, Brian. If somebody does something wrong, I don't care what party you are, I'm going to knock you on it. But I'm not going to knock you on created information. It's that simple. Come out with true evidence and we can talk. But come out with right-wing propaganda, we can't.
Okay, well, eventually it will come out. Now, the
Okay,
one
good.
thing that Obama said right before the election, he verbatim said, "Where is Trump going to get these jobs? Is he going to pull them out of the hat? Is he going to wave a magic wand?" Okay, yeah, Trump did create jobs. He created a lot of jobs.
Brother. Look, we don't have we don't have to argue about this, brother. You can just go look at the job report every single month with all the adjustments that's there to see what was created under Biden, what was created under Trump, what was created under Obama. It's all there for you to see. We don't need to argue about it. The fact of the matter is Trump, the only I gave you the Sir, I gave you the substantive things that Donald Trump did in his administrations before the pandemic. And then his mishandling of the pandemic resulted in him being the first president to leave office with a negative job growth, meaning less people were working when he left his office than were working. That's just statements of fact. Okay, this mirage that folks have about what hold on, Brian, I made you talk, let me finish. This mirage that people have about the great the great Trump economy never existed. It was a continuation of Biden's economy. He passed the tax cut and he applied tariffs. There's nothing else this brother did, nothing else of substance. Yeah, he cut environmental regulations, etc., but he did nothing else. So this great economy that he always talks about is just this constant hyperbole. Now Biden has what to brag about, but Donald Trump has nothing to brag about. Anyway, Brian, I gotta go. Give me a quick closer, Brian.
It's called job creation, not recovery.
All right.
Biden,
and Biden recovered all. Wait. Biden recovered all the jobs that were created. All the jobs that were lost. Hold on. Stop. Biden got back every single job lost under the pandemic. Every single one, and 7 million above that. Okay, that's a statement of fact that is verifiable. Go to the labor department and you'll find the data to justify what. And everybody that's listening, because Trump says one thing, but there's never anything to back it up. What I'm telling you, people, everybody that's listening to my voice, don't take my word for it. Look at the employment data month after month, starting from 2008 when we had the crisis, and you'll see a distinct pattern. But let me tell you something better. If you want jobs, and this is just what the numbers say. If you want jobs and a larger gross domestic product, you want Democratic presidents. That's what the data says by a huge difference. That it's in the data. I've written about it year after year after year. It's that simple, Brian. You said you're a data guy. Look it up and come back with it for me tomorrow. Go find out where does the economy do better, under Democrats or Republicans, and you'll find out the economy does better under Democrats, and there's a reason why. And that's because the Democrats concentrate on the working people, and they are the ones who spend money. And guess what spending money create? Economic activity. It's not rocket science. Okay? But anyway, anything else, Brian? I got to go to Johnny.
No, go ahead.
Thank you, brother. You have a wonderful rest of your day. All right, Johnny, real quick before I get to do a little bit of what I wanted to talk about.
Okay, real quickly, to those conservatives or Republicans who love to complain about people taking money out of the Social Security system while not putting any in, right? How do they feel about all those people who contribute into the Social Security system, undocumented people, but those same people can't realize any benefits? How about that end of the equation? I don't hear them complaining on behalf of those folks.
You know what? I want to say one thing to you. You brought up a very important thing. I want to say thank you for saying that, because undocumented workers pay a lot of money, billions of dollars every year into Social Security, and they will never be able to use it because they're undocumented. So not only are they paying into Social Security and Medicare, but they can't use it. I know somebody personally who pays his Social Security, Medicare, and when he can't, now that he's older, he can't even use Medicare. He has to pay for medicine out of pocket. Hey, I gotta go pitch, Johnny, because we're short. And the program, actually, folks, all we got to do now is pitch in so you can call in. Hey, Johnny, thank you. We talk tomorrow. Folks, we have about 4 minutes here to pitch. And I ask you so kindly. We gave you a full show. Everybody called in. I got to say a few things. I didn't get to speak about Medicare Advantage as I wanted to speak about. So I'm going to make one statement. If you are, they are attempting to make, according to Project 2025, automatically enroll you into Medicare Advantage unless you say no. Always say no. Medicare is what you want. That's what kept my uncle alive an extra 10 years, not sickly, an extra 10 years as a productive citizen. But anyway, folks, we really need more calls in to support the program. We gave you a full show and we will continue to do so. Please give us a call at 713-526-5738, extension number 1 to donate. Will you consider $5 a month, $10 a month, or whatever gift you can, whatever contribution you can? It doesn't have to be monthly. It can be whatever you want. But we're trying to raise as well some monthlies where possible. Or go to kpft.org. You can do this even after the show, kpft.org. But I want to thank you now. So if you do it now, it would be great. kpft.org, hit the donate button, select Politics Done Right as a program you're supporting. That's important as well. And give whatever you can. I'm going to throw it to Sandy, and then we'll come right back and close this baby down. Sandy?
Thank you, Alberto. Yeah.
All right, there you go.
Sorry about that. Hey, folks, we only have 2 people donating to KPFT this morning through Politics Done Right. I know there are more of you out there. It's Friday. It's going to be a nice day again here in Houston. It's been kind of dry lately, but we've had some beautiful weather. I'd like to see some beautiful pledges roll in. A 32-ounce stainless steel tumbler that's the thermos, with our logo emblazoned on it, is $120 donation, $10 a month. You can add a pound of Caroline Street roasted beans from Lola Savannah, KPFT coffee beans. It becomes a $140 gift. That's right. You add the beans for $20 extra on your pledge. You can get a 419 Love It shirt. So a line-drawn picture from Lars Hendrington of our previous studio at 419 Love It Boulevard. And that's a $100 donation. We have a similar T-shirt with the Caroline Street studio pictured on it, coming from Jill, wonderful Jill, who's taking a break right now. We hope that she comes back to the KPFT family. She's responsible for that shirt, also $100. Get them both for $180. That's the 419 and 4504 Caroline Street T-shirt combo. And that comes out to $15 a month. We have tote bags. We have other wonderful gifts for you, waiting for you. But the biggest thank you is keeping KPFT in Houston. We are doing this day after day, volunteering, waking up early and bringing you this programming. And all we ask in return is that you participate on the financial side. You're thinking, what? Give money to what? To to a radio. What? Hey, it's community radio. It's different, entirely different than the other medias on the AM and FM dial. It's your station. It's not bound by commercial sponsorship, so that we can have these open discussions. And Egberto's right. A lot of other stations wouldn't air the content that was even aired this morning. Never allowed to happen. The alternative view, the other opinion, the other side. Come on. How are we going to get any better as a society if we can't talk to one another? Here's a platform to do it out in public. 713-526-5738. 713-526. And for those of you that remember the letters above the numbers, KPFT. 713-526 KPFT, or as we used to say, JAM KPFT. You could spell it out. 713-526-5738. Do your part, just your part. Politics Done Right will be back on Monday with more programming. We'll still be here doing this, but you can shorten the drive with your call now. Egberto, back to you. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, Tanya, for stepping up. We need a few more of you to do the same. Egberto?
Thank you very much, Sandy. Studio.
Right here. Jack, what you got?
Just KPFT, dysfunctional and proud.
I love that one. I'm going to end that right there. Folks, please give us a call at 713-526-5738, extension number 1, or go to kpft.org, hit that donate button, select Politics Done Right. Please, I only have 2, as I get off the air, which is going to be in 15 seconds, please still go ahead to kpft.org and select something. Help us out here. My name is Egberto Willis. The rest of the show is at politicsdoneright.com/newsletter. politicsdoneright.com/newsletter. My name is Egberto Willis. This is Politics Done Right. And you guys know how I end this baby. I am what? Out!
We now join Democracy Now! In progress on KPFT Houston.